a human manager as the concept. I would call it a concept. As a concept, has been developed over the years to support the automation of human resource management processes of organizations. You say the entire life cycle of a staff. That means for your staff until they exit the organization. As a business, to upgrade and update our solutions in phases. For a number of you, our customers here who have used previous versions of Human Manager will know that we had some other things that we had older versions that we've worked with on Human Manager. Some have used 4.1, some 4.2, some 4.3, and on 7.0. But we have a number of you also who joined us at the point of the 7.0 going live. So just for you to know, we moved from somewhere and here we are. We've upgraded to 7.0. But when we do that, we adopt an approach to upgrade and do all of these things in phase. And then when we do this, we come with new features, we come with new technologies so that we can ensure flexibility, which we believe you all want. You don't want to be put in a box. The efficient professional trends and standards. So we do all of this when there are new things we're releasing. Well, when we're releasing a new version or even some updates to an existing version. At this point, we've deemed it necessary, important, relevant, however we can say it, to bring in a learning management system, what you would say for short, LMS, into these offerings. And we also found it a better approach to work with a reputable provider to deliver this. Believe that, a little time to directly share with you our customers, our friends, in one space like this at a time will be a good way to also communicate its benefits to your organization. So today I have two people who have joined me here. I have what I'll call a partner and a colleague, who will be talking to what we want to show you or want to share with you about Human Manager Learning Management System. So I'll first mention our guest here, who's actually a friend, a coach, a member of the family, I would say at the same time, who's the managing director of Zecom Systems, and that is Tayo Awusoya. Tayo, you want to wave at us? Great to see you.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to hear your voice. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Same
That's
here.
the managing director of Zecom Systems, and that is when I mentioned that we thought it necessary or the better approach to partner with a reputable standard organization who is an expert in that field, so that we're not bringing you something that is subpar. That's Zecom Systems. So he will be talking about the learning management system in some detail. While I also have my colleague, a colleague for a while, I would also say a friend. When you say your partner in progress, and that is Akin Omojola. Akinjide Omojola heads product growth. When you hear Human Manager, maybe some light on the title would you say is one of the Mr. Human Managers that we have around. Is the lead of that team that thinks about what should go into Human Manager. When we all sit down to say this is happening, there's a who sits down to really coordinate what exactly goes into Human Manager and how should it work? What are the trends? What is expected by customers? What is happening? What is likely to happen in the next few years to ensure that our customers are able to get Human Manager that transits to the future as their businesses grow. That is what the team is responsible for, and Akinjide leads the team. So the two of them, you can believe, are experts who are going to be talking to the learning management system of Human Manager that we'll bring to you today. And by the time we're done, I believe you have some background into what you expect to see in Human Manager learning management system. So I've talked about the application. I've talked a bit about our journey to this point and the fact that we're going ahead. So I would be now going deeper. Now taking some more information from Tayo. Tayo is the managing director of Zecom System, our partner on the learning management system application. I would like to know, Tayo, now it's your turn to hear them as change their approach to corporate learning and capacity building. Over the years, you've been in this for a while. How do you think it has contributed to the improvements that we've had there, capacity building in organizations? And then what trends have you noticed over time as you work with organizations? You want to tell us that, Tayo?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. Like Muji announced or said, my name is Tayo Wilson. I'm the managing director of a company called Zircom Systems. We have been in business for over 15 years, and by so we deem ourselves experts in this field of the learning management system. The actual learning management system that we're bringing to fray is a product called Tangerine LMS. I think for most people that have ever had something to do with learning and development, online learning, some people are familiar with Tangerine LMS. But what we have done, the partnership we have with HumanManager, is we have modeled that Tangerine LMS into a module into HumanManager to provide everyone that has anything to do with either Zircom Systems or HumanManager into a module that they can access easily as long as you are on HumanManager. Now, to your question, you're asking about what impact has the learning management system had over the years on corporate learning and capacity building. There's been a lot of changes, right? Learning management systems used to be a like to have, right? It's significantly transformed into what you call an alternative to traditional learning, into more of a staple now because of the things that have happened over the years. An example is the COVID-19 pandemic. This has accelerated the shifts. Now we are emphasizing on speed, we're emphasizing on efficiency, and most importantly, a wider audience to reach, right? Secondly is it has become an information sharing hub. LMSs have transformed into central hubs for information sharing within organizations. They are no longer just for training, but serve as a repository for internal information, including product details, policies, procedures, making them indispensable for employees seeking organizational insights. And you would agree with me, that is where HumanManager also sits as well. HumanManager is a renowned HRIS system. And if employees are looking for stuff, right, instead of asking a colleague or looking online, you can go to HumanManager and you can get that information. Information about, personal information as well, from payroll to appraisals and things. We are also now doing what? We are extending that provision to say there are other things that, instead of just training, because again, that is also the evolution. LMSs were majorly known to facilitate training, online training. But now we have gone from that to even dispersing more information. So at the fingertips of employees, they have everything. They can do their training, they can get their SOPs, they can get their product details that allow them to close critical decision-making aspects of their business. And another thing is the fact that they can also do this online. They can do this as they go. So those are the changes.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So another thing I'd like you to share, before we move over from you to Waki, some insights on the challenges organizations faced with traditional learning and its management compared to modern approaches. We've talked about having it online. We've talked about the fact that we're talking about, we now need speed and all of that. Would like to hear just maybe one or two sentences from you, some of the challenges, maybe one or two, so that our people can also know what the I mean, it's like you preempt them and you already give them a solution. This is what you're likely to, to have faced, and this is the maybe in 1 or 2 words. How would you do that?
Sure. Actually, the challenges are what basically gave birth to the emergence of online learning. We're not even talking about HumanManager now. We're not talking about Tangerine LMS, just online learning itself. So the first thing is limited accessibility. Traditional methods often restrict learning to specific locations and times, limited accessibility for geographical or dispersed or remote teams. So we have a gentleman all the way in Naija, and we expect him to make an 8 a.m. meeting in Victoria Island. There are challenges that come with those things. When we now talk about the product themselves, the training themselves, the information themselves, traditional learning has just proven that the updates come very, very slowly. Updating training materials in traditional settings are time-consuming, leading to delays in delivering current and relevant content. We all know of today how fast-paced the industries are and how things change on a daily. So imagine a situation where we have just trained 5,000 employees. Maybe it took us a year to do that. And the next year, the government in power changes. There are policies by either the CBN, the NCC. Some things change that actually affect your industry. Are we going to send 5,000 people out again to go and train? So
I can imagine.
Those updates are better served online, and they are nowadays almost automatic. As soon as we have a change, we make the changes online. Everybody gets the change notification almost at the same time.
Thank you so much, Aki. Thank you. I mean, Tayo, that was awesome. I believe that our audience can hear all of these, and we are beginning to take a decision that the necessary thing is to just take on the learning management system. I'm sure there are some other things Aki is going to tell us about what it can offer our organizations that will just make life easy for us, in addition to what Tayo has said. And Tayo mentioned something that is critical, that there was like a moment, something that happened, just like a tipping point that just kind of triggered everybody to transit into something like what LMS offers, online real-time training. And that was the COVID-19 event. That's for a long time will be a part of history. And it actually caused some kind of transformation in the way we work. And that's a reality. In the way we work, in the way we do things. And it has brought in, that's cost man, let me use that word, man, to think of better ways of getting things done, even though we were restricted at some point. I mean, that's just some powerful things about human beings. Well, I want to believe you're ready as I head of product growth. What systems or tools can seamlessly integrate with HumanManager learning, and how does it benefit users? I would like you to take on that. What are those things? We'll go back to some key features in addition to what he said, but I mean, what are those tools that can easily interest? And maybe you can take 2 of the questions together. The ease and flexibility of integrating, because now we have an application, so people could be wondering, oh, we have one product, now you're talking about this Tangerine coming into HumanManager and all of that. Please, could you just, for our layman's thinking, could you explain to us? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again. I'm happy to be here also to tell you about the magnificent benefits of our partnership with Tangerine LMS to provide learning on HumanManager. One of the requests we've had for a while has been to have a platform that allows you to learn. We used to have a training management system, but we know that the world has moved beyond the administration of training a bit, and there are more requirements for an e-learning suite. So that's why we're coming with HumanManager Learning in partnership with Tangerine to achieve that. What are the benefits? Number one is for the integration side, we made it seamless for you. If you can, I'm trying to share my screen right now. If you can see it, please confirm. with Human Manager now, you don't have to integrate anything. There's no technical work required for you to enjoy learning with Tangerine. What we have right now allows you to see the learning module on the side of your manager, just like you see your admin, your staff record, your payroll, your lead management, your expense. You will now see learning as a menu on the side of your application. And when you click on it, you will see it will automatically open you to the experience of your manager learning. On Human Manager Learning, whenever you want to move around, you just click any of the buttons and then you can move to any part of the learning suite you want to move to. Sometimes it will open your learning content in another tab, in another screen, but essentially we have done a single sign-on integration for those who are technically aware of that. We've done a single sign-on integration where automatically you are able to log into your learning profile, your own specific learning profile. One of the things we've also done is that when you create a new staff on the platform, it automatically creates a learning profile for them. And when you disengage employees from your system, it automatically disengages them from the learning platform. We have built in so many security layers in between the two systems to make sure that their information security requirements are met, other requirements are met, but the experience itself is very seamless when it comes to the integration between the two applications. Also, and finally, you can get feedback on Human Manager from your learning platform. You can see how you are doing with your courses that are assigned to you, your progress level, how many you've completed. You can see whether you've passed your tests, so you can know how many tests you passed, if you failed any tests, things like that. And you can transit between the two systems very much easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Aki. I want to believe that as you talked, I mean, I just began to think as maybe an HR manager or an organization, applications coming together. I didn't tell you I wanted one, a separate one. I just want you, Human Manager, to give me this, and you've just allayed some fears. So I'm happy that we've talked about the security. We've talked about the fact that our customers don't have to do any technical work in integrating learning management. We have done the work. So thanks to Tayo's team, thank you, Aki's team, for making that happen. If we have questions now to our audience, as they talk, there might be things that are cropping up on our minds, and we believe we will need some clarifications. Please drop them in the chat room. We'll be able to take some questions after now. So please, so that they don't sleep your mind again as they come up, speakers, please take those, drop those questions on the chat room. We'll be looking at them. So now Aki has talked about integration possibilities, what we've done and what is available, and then the fact that where you have all the models of Human as a new model there is a reason you'll be saying learning there, because usually what you have is that you only see the things that you've subscribed to. So we've said it, we'll get that to that later. Just log onto your Human Manager as usual, and the learning management module will be there. As you click, it takes you to those things. The administrators, of course, there is a process in setup and all of that. So Aki, could you just quickly tell? Today we have some of our customers here. I can see familiar names. Should they want to take on the learning management system? Oh, January is coming. We want this. What will it take them? How will they get it activated? What do we need to do, or what do they need to do? Could you also mention that on the product side?
Okay. Thank you. So as part of this engagement, one of the things we're giving our customers is a one-month free access to the system. There are complementary courses already available for our users, our employees in different countries that they can access, that we can assign to them to take advantage of. And we hope that we would have an 100% uptake from this promo period. From January, just indicate your interest to use our learning management system. The module we enabled for you. Now, and it's as simple as just making a request, sending an email, or making a request to have us enable the learning management system for you. If you're a completely new customer, you'll be able to onboard from our website. As you're onboarding to the HumanManager environment, also onboard to the learning management system. Now, for once we do that, the next step obviously is you will immediately have access to the learning management system. Your administrators will have access to the learning management system, and then they can go into the learning management system and start assigning courses. Like I said earlier, we provided some complimentary courses for you to use. However, if you want to take the full benefit of the learning management system, we have a solution delivery team that will walk you through our project implementation methodology and set up the learning management system. Now, apart from courses, there are so many other benefits that an LMS like Tangerine provides to you. We're talking about the ability. We're talking about the ability to. We're talking about the ability to set up not just courses on the platform for learning parts, set up forums, set up groups, messaging, engagement with between professors. The professor is a learning content provider, and the students who typically be your staff. There are so many other things you can do. You can set up learning groups, you can set up categories, you can set up additional lessons, you can upload content. You can back up your content. You can see who's active and who's not active. You can run reports. Now, to enjoy these benefits and many more, it will be beneficial that you speak to any of our customer support agents, and then they'll be able to help you expand your benefit profile from the LMS. But to even start with giving you free courses that you can go in and take advantage of. And there's an entire knowledge marketplace where you can get and buy new courses to your profiles. You can subscribe to new training content. You can set up so many other things. You can even set up your own SME content by SME matter experts in-house. In your companies can create content and you can upload them to the LMS so that other employees in the future can take benefit from it.
Thank you so much, Aki. We've seen some of those things that you raised about how our customers can get on. Yeah. So we're checking your messages here. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, there are one or two things that we need to do to ensure that the echo you had when Aki spoke last is removed. So thank you so much for those of you who have dropped our messages. When we're looking into that, we'll ensure that is resolved shortly. So we move on. We've looked at the integration has been done, but what should our customers expect? What more? What are those very important things they should expect? Akin, are you still there? And you can tell us if something stands out. Can you highlight a couple of them? The needs of organizations. Some things are going to be general, but from our experience, maybe relating with our customers, what are those things that you believe stand out as features, new features that would help our customers? So from your, maybe I should go to Tayo now before we come back to, yes. What do you recommend? What advice do you have? You've worked with many organizations. They're looking to maximize HumanManager learning. You know, they are going to get, we believe, a couple of our customers will even stand. I mean, there's something would mention about your use, but we're saying, yes, for our customers, they are interested. What would be your advice? How do you recommend the user to get the best from it? Tayo, I think I'll take you first before we go to Aki.
Okay, thank you so much again. So the simple recommendation is to please sign up, right? So that's the first thing. You need to sign up, because these are loyal customers of HumanManager. Some may be new, some may be old. But the first thing is there is a new product on HumanManager, and that is the learning module, right? So what it means is that we're going to, again, go take a shift from a situation where their online learning or maybe their corporate learning was never online, was never available. So they had the product HumanManager, and I would imagine that most customers would at least have maybe 2 modules, maybe payroll and appraisal. But then if they needed to do any kind of corporate training, they either had to do it the old traditional way, right? Or they would actually have to get the services of maybe a company like ours or some other company that would bring another system, and they would have to do this integration before they are able to enjoy the benefits of online learning. But what we are saying is, like you had mentioned earlier, this integration is already done. The module is already on HumanManager. We're asking them to sign up so that today or tomorrow they can start online learning. And what do you get by doing that? You are able to train your staff seamlessly, right? You are able to use a single sign-on to go from the HumanManager platform onto the Tangerine platform seamlessly. You don't have to log in again as long as you are subscribed. You are able to have complementary courses that you can start training on day 0, not even day 1. On day 0, you have complementary courses. We are still thinking of so many other benefits that we can give to say, you can get maybe 1 exclusive training each month for the next 12 months. Here are 15 either mandatory courses or soft skill courses that we know are relevant to your industry. You can start training with those. Now, the reason why that is very important is most organizations that employ the services of a learning management system, not only do they do the services of a learning management system, they still have to reach out to other corporate organizations like a Coursera or Udemy to say, what are the courses that are relevant to us? So we have taken a stab and we have curated a few complementary courses that has, I think, a number of either 15 to 20, not to inundate everyone, to say these are some of the things, regardless of your industry, you would want to train on leadership, you would want to train on business etiquette, you want to train on management, you want to train on projects. So there are courses in there right now that people can go and take advantage of, even just as a tester, to see how your audience, your staff community would enjoy those benefits without doing any much type of technical work. Thank you. Are you there, Muji? We can't really hear you.
All right, you were off for a moment. Thank you so much, Tayo. So now we're back to you, Aki. Tayo has told us a couple of things that, he's given his advice, his recommendation to organizations to get the best from HumanManager learning. And the first thing he said is the first step is to even sign up. Just sign up first. And then, you start the journey of 1,000 steps or 1,000 miles. They say it starts with 1 step. The first step is the most important. If you don't start, you don't even know the world of opportunities that you would have in HumanManager learning management system. So to you, Aki, when you were going ahead with all of this that come into HumanManager learning system, what did you think at that time people would be able to benefit? So could you tell us some standout features that will cater specifically to the needs of organizations, especially our customers, existing customers, and those who will be joining our group?
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's start with the benefits, right? Let's start with the benefits. First of all, cost management. You can now say bye-bye to additional costs that come with training, getting venues, refreshments, facilities, printed materials, and all of those things. With these elements, you can get very good courses and without necessarily incurring additional costs to all those things. Number two is convenience. Convenience for employees, convenience for you as a training organization. No need to things to provide computers, all those things. Employees can also learn at their own pace. So you don't have to have everybody in one space, 9 to 5, a training every day for the next 4 days. Everybody can learn at their own pace in their own time over a period of time. Number three benefit you can get is that you are getting access to a large pool of training, like Tayo earlier said. Today, if you want to train your employees on customer relationship management or leadership, you probably talk to 2, 3, 4, 5 learning content providers or training organizations around where you are. But now you have access to thousands of materials from lovely, well-curated courses from different locations, from different providers, and then it's now available to you. So you have that benefit of not just one material, not just one content source, but multiple, not just 2, 3, but multiple good quality content already curated, already proven, already tested at your fingertips. Number 4 is that you can reuse this content. Again, many of us who even have internal documents that we have created as organizations, they may be in physical files somewhere, or even when they are digitalized, okay, they may reside on a file sharing system somewhere. It's not curated. You can't track progress. You can't track how many people have downloaded or seen it. But now you can bring all of this into one single location. You can digitize and bring them to one single location for people to reuse over and over again. In fact, the reality is that you can have employees do refresher courses again and again. And even when there are updates to this content, you update once and reuse everywhere. So that's another benefit you will get. Compliance-related issues. So you have maybe in your industry, there are compliance-related issues that people need to be aware of. Every time you employ a new staff, the induction process has to happen physically. You can say no to that. You can digitize all that content and make them available to your employees. Number 5, scalability. With digitalization comes scalability. So you are talking about you can grow from training 5 people to training 100 people conveniently. Why? All you need to do is schedule them on the platform, and then they will be able to train on those courses. You don't need to think about, oh, how do I get my guys from Kano to come to Lagos, or from Lagos to Kano? How do we get a venue? All those things, you can scale your capacity building of your organization immediately. And finally, time management. So again, one of the things you get is that because people are learning at their own time, they can take as many courses as you would assign to them, because they can learn on the weekend, they can learn on during their leave periods, they can learn on holidays, they can learn at their own time. No need for all this physical training that we typically do. Okay, and most importantly, we have integrated the platform so that even when you have physical trainings, maybe a Zoom, you can set up a Zoom link and connect it to your users, to your employees. So wherever they are, even though you're having a physical session on, say, Zoom, you can connect to everybody wherever they are, and they can still follow that live training. So these are some of the benefits that you can get on the platform. When we come to features, we are talking about the fact that you have curated so many, over thousands of training content is already available on the system, ready for you to take advantage of. Number 2 is that you can create. So the system allows you to self-create, to author your content. It goes through an approval, a maker checker process. So it can go through maybe risk or marketing, other people who will make sure that the content meets your company policy requirements, and then it's approved, and then it becomes available to people. Number 3 is that you can track the progress of learners, like we said. You can integrate it to your employee performance process. Okay, you can also get digital certificates. So you can set up, you can customize certificates for your learning. You can have you can customize certificates for learning on this platform. You can do CBTs. You can set up tests and automatically pass and fail them on the platform. So we have brought in, you can set up group interactions, group training. So for instance, you could have a content that is tagged induction content, and it is grouped. And whenever a new person comes on the platform, you just send them a group key, and they can access all that induction content. So you can create groups for your different categories: new product managers, new marketers, new customer support staff, new accountants. You can have different groups with specific content related to your organization, and and you can use it to sort of upskill people to the right levels that you want them to be. And you can stream all of this learning online if you have a Zoom connection. So these are some of the things in terms of benefits and features that you can get on the system.
Thank you so much. I mean, I took a couple of them and I feel I need to emphasize that you can assign trainings to staff. I'm correct, right? So I have a group of staff. I can now say this training is for these people and these people and these people, and I can track whether or not they have taken those trainings. I mean, I would like our audience to really take note of that. So now you can say, yes, these trainings, I can have a group of people. When new accountants come in, these are the group of people who are supposed to take this kind of training. I can assign those trainings to them, and I can track actually whether or not when it's on some SharePoint. People connect there. You don't know who has gone there, who has not gone there. You don't know whether people have taken, who has taken and who has not taken, but the application provides you that. So if you are planning something, people, you are on a particular track, and you want to see that they are taking certain kind of trainings, you want to ensure they have taken that because it's probably necessary for some new assignments you are giving them. That means you'll be able to do that. If you update for everybody. So you update, there is new, there's a new direction, something Tayo mentioned earlier. There is maybe a policy that it necessitates an upgrade or an update to the knowledge of your staff, maybe things around security, things around their profession, some policies of government, and you need to update their knowledge of such things. On HumanManager Learning Management System, you can just go there, provide the new things, the new inputs to that training, so that people who take in later on are going to take the full thing. Those who had taken earlier can go back and have a refresher without necessarily telling say you have 10 people. Now you have to tell 10 people out of the office for PM somewhere. You pay money for the training, you pay for accommodation, you pay for feeding, you pay all kinds of, and then the time they're off work, they can't do anything. You have the flexibility of having those updates provided, people taking them and really getting upskilled. And then you mentioned something about onboarding trainings. I also heard you right, where you said that if there are people, when people come in as part of your onboarding, there are certain kind of trainings. It could be by their role, it could be for their entire organization. Organizations have things around culture, around their environment, things that would have around general knowledge that you expect people to know when they come in. So you can also make those available while they can go back to their different offices. You don't have to keep them for so long physically somewhere, maybe at the head office or at your training school for days or for weeks. You can have some of these done online, and they can actually, you can shorten the time you take to do such onboarding, because there are some of them they can take while they are actually away, and you can just have a review while they're. So those trainings, onboarding trainings, that are important to your organizations. You have the outlines, you have the standards, you can have them. So apart from just having trainings from the LMS that are there for you, you can even put standard trainings, organization trainings, onboarding, particular parameters that you have to make. You can put them on the application yourself. So it gives you and it takes from you. It can take some and hold for you such that your people can use, whereas it comes with some kind of training, like Ake and Tayo have mentioned. So you can bring in your own training. Don't say, okay, what about this? What about this kind of training? They are peculiar to us as an organization. They are not taken in some standard environments. We have our own outlines, our own professionals have come up with the content for us. Yes, those content can also be accommodated on the LMS. You have such a wide variety. Customized certificates, that's another thing he mentioned. So when people really finish, you can track and know they're 100% done, and they can generate an evidence that they've done the training. And it's not what we see in HumanManager Limited. You will see there. You can actually have your customized certificates that shows the name of your own company. You can organize tests. That's another one. There are some kind of trainings that when you take them, you really want to know how well people have done. Kind of providing a virtual learning environment, for those of you who have taken online, maybe some kind of degrees online before, there are virtual learning environments, or you've taken some foreign standard or professional trainings before. There are some that you can take in your home country or wherever you are, and you have a virtual learning environment. You practically provided some kind of virtual learning environment for you here. You can have group interactions. So you actually are mimicking what you have when you sit down with people, and you can have that created, that platform. That is the platform that we have brought onto HumanManager. And for you, our customers, existing and those of you we believe would be joining us later on. Thank you so much. We've got so much from you, Aki and Tayo. So just, some quick info from you, Tayo. Could you share some success stories? You've been at it for a while, 15 years, you said, over 15 years, actually. So Tayo, could you share some success stories? One or two feedback you've got from companies you've worked with before, and you see how it has helped them in the organization.
Sorry, I was muted. So thank you. In terms of success stories,
Yeah.
I think the writing is really on the wall because of, again, we're talking about the shift since the pandemic. But the one thing that Aki mentioned, which I wasn't trying to get into earlier, is in terms of cost. That is how we know that we're doing well when customers come to us and they ask for extra modules or they ask for upgrades. And I can tell you without mentioning, names, but we have some of the largest organizations in the financial industry in Nigeria. We are talking about 20,000+ staff on the system, 20,000, 18,000. And what has happened to these organizations is they have almost gone totally online in terms of training, in terms of corporate training. There's an organization that actually won an award in Paris because of the blended learning approach they use with Tangerine. So they got this award. I can't remember the name of the award, but I saw the ceremony. It was based on the fact that they were able to use Tangerine online learning, and they were able to deploy all their critical decision-making information on the Tangerine mobile app, where employees were able to go out on the field and discuss business with clients without, having to revert back or scheduling multiple trainings. So for us, the most important part of it is that we are very proud of saving organizations millions and millions of dollars, because we have gone. So imagine an organization that has 20,000 staff. So two things could have happened. It's either they don't train, or they train and they spend a lot of money doing that training. But today, those trainings are basically seamless. They just schedule their people, and sometimes they do it in batches, right? So that's like an old client. A new client that we had recent, I think a deployment was in 2022, and you will not believe, between 2020, the first 4 months, this client was able to train over 6,000 people in the first 4 months. So that's another success story. So we are, just like you mentioned, we are able to, the organization is able to monitor its employees. We are also able to monitor the organization, and we actually had to call and give them kudos to say, well done. 6,000 people you couldn't train 6,000 people in a year, talk less of in less than 4 months. So those are the major benefits. The fact that you're able to do those numbers and you're able to save money while doing it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, that's some very, very good success stories you were able to pick up right on your fingertips there. The one in Paris, and there are a number in the HR space also. There are some kind of awards that go around, and some of them could actually be impacted by training your staff very well, and that feedback that you get, how you increase productivity, and you can trace it to the trainings that you've given your staff when it becomes general. Thank you so much. So I'll come back, to you, Aki. Now looking at it, there is something new that you are looking at. You are the head of product growth. What are those new things? What do we have in HumanManager? LMS, yes. What should we expect? We have quite a number of our customers here. So it's also about end of year. You are telling them about this. What other things have happened? What has happened to the I'm putting you on the spot? But yes, I would like you to give us a tip of the iceberg. Let's see.
Okay, thank you, Moji. And so basically what we're doing is that we just started the journey. And the first part of the journey was to find a good partner who would deliver good quality service to our customers. And we found one. And the beautiful thing about it is that if you were to go directly to them, you would not get the same cost distribution that you're getting from working with us. And so they are a fantastic partner, but they're also giving us, like I said, the complimentary courses, for instance, and a lot of other things that you will get just by coming through HumanManager. But also the benefit of this that you are integrating two systems together to get better than the sum of its parts. So you can bring your training content data can go into your performance relationships, and we're going to expand on those integrations. For instance, we are bringing in our old training module for training administration needs. We'll be bringing that into the system in the coming year. We'll be bringing the capacity to sort of budget, so the bit of payroll or employee cost management, so budgeting for training and applying those budgets on limits. We'll be bringing the capacity of not just corporate organizations to assign courses to the employees, but for the employees themselves to purchase courses from the platform, from the knowledge marketplace, which we are bringing from Tangerine. So these are some of the few things that we'll be bringing into the system. Also, the fact that we want to bring in more MOOCs into the system. MOOCs are basically what you call massive online open courses providers. So imagine connecting your learning management to your YouTube page, connecting it to some other learning content providers out there who are not LMSs, they just provide learning content, just aggregate learning content. So you can have benefits of not just taking advantage of indigenous your own indigenous courses that you build by your subject matter experts in your organization. You're not just having the benefits of bringing the massive learning content from, say, Tangerine into the system. You can even have third-party content also available. So we are looking at working on that integration to make that available to us. And finally, is that we're also looking at expanding to the mobile, which, by the way, we're already fast at it, so that people can learn on the move. Even your salespeople can easily access content while they're engaging with customers real time. One of the success stories that Tayo has not yet mentioned is the fact that we had a particular bank who used this platform to improve its ability to sell, because they had so many products, and many times while they are engaging a potential customer or prospect, they had the ability to quickly go to their knowledge repository, which is also a feature on the LMS, and quickly access information and be able to respond on the spot to queries while you're actually seated at the table with a potential customer. So there are so many applications of this, and there are many more things we're bringing. Like I said, we're bringing back training administration, the old budgeting. We're bringing artificial intelligence to be able to help you look at your staff, discern the learning gaps, and suggest learning content for you for maybe performance improvement plans. We're looking at bringing integrations to MOOCs, to other learning platforms that could be online. And then we're looking at budgeting, cost management, feedback system for even physical trainees for the employees in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So he mentioned what we expect to have, and some of them, like I mentioned when we started, that when we upgrade, we update, we come with new features, new technology. Of course, we also update in phases. So when he mentioned the training management, for those of us, of our customers who've been with HumanManager over the years, if you were on the old 4.3, you would recall that there was something called the training management model, but different from the LMS. So we're not dropping the training management, we're only updating it to make it more relevant, to make it to comply with what you have, today's standards. and be able to meet the trends of today, while also integrating it with our learning management system. You would agree with me that the world of work has moved from just a repository of information about your training to being able to take training, and being able to take decisions around training, having good feedback and planning and all of that. And now it moves into the entire lifestyle of staff. Not just that, not just in silos. No, we have them all coming together, what we call the systems thinking, something like that, where everything is working together for a particular purpose, and you actually get the outcome because they are all working together. That's what we are doing with HumanManager, not just having one thing or another thing, but being able to have all the things you can have, but also integrating them in a way that actually shows beyond just HR, even your entire organizational strategy is working in tandem with it. So thank you very much for all of that. We have some questions actually, and maybe both of you will start with Aki on the technical side. Somebody asked, how do I know that my people are actually taking those trainings? LMS, you said we can go there, we can have trainings assigned to people can log into a live environment. And how do I know that they are taking those tests? Actually, how do I know?
All right, thank you. So there's a myriad of ways to track its usability of the application. One is you literally have reports. So there are reports on everything. There are reports on courses. You can report on users. You can report on a particular course. How many people have taken this course? What people have taken this course? What's the performance level? How many of them have completed? How many of them are ongoing? How many of them have not even opened it at all? You can also track by. You can even track who is currently logged in. There are features to let you know who are the people that are currently logged in at this particular time right now. You have reminder systems, notifications that remind people about starting, about completing, about making progress. You have tests. Now, the elements so that it accommodates latest technologies content. So you can have interactive content where people can interact with the training content. There can be inbuilt tests, CBT, computer-based tests, CBTs, all these things that you can use to track who has learned, what is the quality of their learning, who is just skimming through, who is training at any given point in time. You can also see the dashboards to let you know how many courses. In fact, the same will tell you what time people logged in last, how often they've logged over a period of time. All of this content are things that will help you to spot who is working. Then we also have a leaderboard where you can see, where you can get badges for how well you train on the platform. So if somebody who does more content, does more tests, completes things, they can get all of these on the system. So there are many ways to track who is using the system, who is not. There are many ways to measure the progress of your users and learners.
Hello, Moji. I would like to chime in. I would like to chime in on that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so Aki has answered the question, but there is one part that I would like the person that asked the question to know. As an administrator, the LMS has a notification engine where you can go in and actually set the notifications to say, I want to know when people have completed this particular course. I want to know when people have logged in. I want to know when people have started. So there's a notification engine that allows you to, that sends you notifications to say, Shegun Benson has started course 101 in emotional intelligence. When Shegun Benson has completed it, you also get an email. When he starts his test, you get an email. When he completes his test and he passes or fails, you get an email. The reason why people or administrators are sometimes careful about setting those notifications that tell you that tell you basically automatically is because sometimes we don't want to be inundated with so many emails. Imagine a situation where you have 10,000 staff or you have 1,000 staff, and that staff, each staff has maybe 5 activities a day on the platform. That means you're going to get 5 times 1,000 activities. But to answer the question, so yes, You can go in and run a report like Aki mentioned. But even if you don't want to do that, you can sit quietly at your desk and you can keep receiving alerts that are telling you how many of your staff have logged in, how many have completed, how many has taken, and all those things. So it makes the work of the administrator very, very easy. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Yes, I can. Thank you so much. I believe we've heard that our audience, um, I've heard that. So yes, I would also answer one or two questions. Your organization can set up custom trainings. I think I emphasized that. Yes. So if you have custom trainings, you have some experts and they've come up with some trainings for you. Yes, you can upload those on HumanManager LMS and your staff will be able to go there. And you can continue to use it for as long as you want until you need to update it. It's there. Yes, you can have, and then you can customize certificates. I think I mentioned that also, that yes, while you can, you're learning content and everything that are peculiar to your organization on our LMS. So beyond what we are giving you to use and the additional new one that Tayo promised us, we can even bring our own as companies. And so what at the end of the day is on the platform of one company could be different from the other, because those peculiar things can also be accommodated, those peculiar trainings. I know some organizations are very big on maybe health and safety, and there are different kinds of trainings that you take, whereas some organizations are not as big. So they might have fewer trainings, and maybe just maybe the one we even provide on a professional level suffices for such organizations, whereas there are some others based on some of your requirements, some standards that you have to meet. You can have those things captured on HumanManager. So I believe that you have a world, to explore in our learning management system. And you can, they've told you how you can track whether people actually, sometimes there's, that's one of the things that technology helps us to do. If you think you're bypassing it, the system can track. There is something of a trail that tells you if I just logged in and I came out, or I actually stayed and where I went and what I did. So the application comes with a way to make sure that we're making real progress and not just providing infrastructure that are not useful to people, or that people can, you can take advantage of the system or bypass some and all of that. The system helps you. So we've looked at it. So can you show us a little more about HumanManager LMS? What does it look like? Again, let people see it a little more and then tell us, what is it going to cost us? What are you offering us, our customers? What are you doing for us? Let me sound like one of them. And now I'm on the side of our customers. What are you doing for us? You've told us, yes, but before we go out to them, what do you have for us to even let us see what you have to offer on HumanManager?
All right, thank you, Moji.
So Aki, you want to tell us what the plan is?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen with once again. Just let me know when you can see it. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so most of us are familiar with this HumanManager interface. You will see the new tag on the learning management on the left-hand side of the screen. Once you click on it, you will see an infographic about your course completion rate, your past tests or failed tests. So you see all that information, okay? And then for typical staff, you would have two menus, the My Courses menu and then the Request a Course menu. Under My Courses, you basically get a list of your ongoing assigned courses that you have not yet completed and your completed courses. Okay. You can always click on View Courses to get more information about the course. You will see the course name, the person who assigned it to you, the owner of the course, the title of the course like Business Analysis, Corporate Finance. You can see all of that here. Okay. You can also see, and whenever you want to start learning, you can click on start learning. Okay. If you open the course content, for you, and then you can, in a new tab, and then you can continue with your learning. So it opens another page for you where you can see your assigned content, your completed courses, faith tests, your course catalog, and such and such. You can see a whole lot of things on the platform. You can see the day you joined, how many hours you spent on the system, and such and such. You can see your last login date. You can see your time you spent on the system, your messages, all those things are there for you to interact with. You can you can collaborate with your other learners. You can join forums, okay? You can respond to assignments. You can send messages to the instructor. All of these are possible on the system, but we will leave that for now. Second thing is that so on the learning platform, you also see the ability to request a course. Now, it's possible that your company has subscribed to 50 different courses or 100 different courses, all right? But they only assign one to you. Maybe you are in the accounts department and they only assign introductions to accounting or whatever to you. But you also have an interest in sales or in customer engagement or in business writing. And you can come to request a course. Under the requested course, all courses are grouped into categories. So a course may be under a particular category, maybe business management, environmental, complementary courses, HR management. Now, under each category, once you click on it, you can see the courses under that category, and then you can request a course. Once you request a course, it sends the request to whoever you have set up as your approver in the system. We all know that HumanManager has a maker, checker, a workflow part to it, transaction workflow management to it. So when whoever HR has set up as the approver for this request, we get that request, approve it, and then that course will be assigned to you. The next time you go to your profile under your open courses, you will just see that course that you have assigned, that was assigned to you. So that's how the request a course works. You can click on this to see more information about any particular courses. Because this is a demo, some of the items are not there, but essentially you'll be able to see the course overview, the learning objectives, the requirements for that course. If it's a course that comes at a price, you can see that also, and that's the way that works. Now, as a administrator, excuse me, please let me log in again. As an administrator, you can do other things apart from view and take courses, okay? As an administrator on the learning management system, you can also manage your student account. What that means is that you can activate or deactivate students. Let's say, for instance, you buy courses for your organization, but you also have drivers or cleaners or a particular category or interns, okay? Or a particular category of employees that should not have access to the LMS. You can deactivate them here because by default, once the person is an employee on the LMS, they would have access to the LMS. But if you feel that they shouldn't have access, you can deactivate them from here and they will not have access to the LMS. Another thing you can do is that you can do general LMS management. We mentioned a lot of things that the LMS can do for you today. We mentioned that you can run reports, you can set up courses, you can create content. You can see these are some of the menus that you interact with on the LMS to be able to do these things. You manage users here, you set up lessons here, you set up courses here. So for instance, if you want to set up a course, you will come here, you create course or update the course. You can see the number of participants in each course. These are all the courses already existing in the system. You can see the number of participants in each course. You can see the date it was created. You can, do different settings. You can delete courses. You can find more course information. You can do a whole lot of things. You can also import courses. If you already have a course that is in its COM content, you can import it into this system and it goes through approvals. You set up the course information here. For instance, you can set up course what determines course completion? Should it be auto-completed, or should it require the instructor to close out a course? You can set up the rules for the course, whether you get certificates, the order of lessons within the course. You can schedule, you can set up whether this course depends on another course, whether there's a prerequisite course before you can take this course. There's so much you can do in terms of administering the LMS. So there's so many features we can't provide. This is not really a demo session. It's just to help us to see the benefits of the platform. As an administrator, it's also a profile for an instructor. And as an instructor, you can create learning content. You can attend to assignments. You can respond on forums for your participants, your learners, your students. You can create groups and assign people to groups. And then you can investigate the course catalog, so the courses, the learning progress, and such and such and such. So there's so much we can do on the platform. And you can generate reports, for instance, like I said earlier. Okay, you can create forums. You can have direct messages to individuals or to groups of individuals. Under reports, you have user reports, you have lesson reports, you have course reports. So you can run reports to see users. You can run reports to see lesson. What's the behavior on this lesson? Do people like this lesson? What is the feedback on this lesson? And things like that. You can also export your reports to Excel or PDF format with timestamps on them. You can do so many things on the platform. And I think you can see under here, you can have messages to and fro yourself. You can create messages and send. You can post notices. And all of this are backed by email notifications to let people know when things are moving around, when things are happening within the application. Okay, so these are some of the things that we can do on the LMS today. Thank you. Hello, Moji. Over to you, please.
Hello, I can. Yeah, thank you. You know, the network fluctuated a bit on your side. Thank you so much, Aki, for showing us again what we stand to gain as our customers. I'm talking, for them now as they log on to HumanManager. Yes. So after all of this, I'd like to mention that as from this weekend, we'll have HumanManager LMS activated for all our existing customers for use between now and the end of the month, which is the end of the year, at no additional costs. That we have decided to do so that you can really have a feel of the application, exploit, use it. And then let's have your feedback. But between now, when we trigger it, activate it, till the end of all these things we've said is there are possible end of the year, and that will be at no cost to you. The model, of course, will come at a token, just like we have for all our modules. We know HumanManager is modular, so this also is going to come with a token, which will also make it possible for you to get our support and have the complementary courses that had been talked about. Remember that I mentioned that we're going to have about 13 to 15 complementary courses that are with the application, and that will still be covered by that token. You can have one new training every month added at no additional cost to you. Yes, that is how juicy that deal is. And then if, as a company, you want to buy some more trainings, they will be available on the environment, the training environment, just like Aki showed. Somebody can request a training. It's not part of the standard, just like an administrator, the way you would naturally in HR, you source for trainings for your staff, you can do that on the application. And on the application, yes, and then get approval, or people can request. And if you find them suitable, the trainings they're requesting suitable for their growth, professional growth, or related to their jobs, and you want to approve it, yes, you can approve those trainings, and then the trainings become available to the users. Those will now be at additional cost, and the cost of the trainings will be displayed. There will be nothing hidden. Those are additional trainings that you want to take, but you have trainings that come with it. You have additional one every month at no additional cost. You can organize all of these trainings that we've talked about. You can have all of these important documents uploaded, those trainings that you want to upload, those things you want, onboarding trainings and all of that. All those features are available for you at the token we're going to charge. However, if you have additional trainings that you would like to have, you explore the system. You see this will be relevant. These will be relevant. The way you will contact some of those professional training centers, or the way you will contact HumanManager to give trainings to your staff, you can do that on the application. I'm not saying HumanManager trainings. I'm just saying all of those other areas that are important, topics, subject areas that are relevant to your organization and relevant to certain people or certain categories of staff in your organization, and you would like them to take those trainings rather than send them out somewhere off work for 4 or 5 days. You want them to take those trainings on our HumanManager learning management system. You can explore the trainings that are there. You get them, you see the fees, and then you can, once they are approved, they will be available to your users. And then those ones are the ones that will be at additional cost. However, all the other things are going to be at the token that we usually charge, the way we charge for each of our models. But we're saying, as a show of appreciation for your time that you spent with us today, we're going to be giving HumanManager LMS, Learning Management System, at no cost to all existing customers between now and the end of the year. So we would like you to explore the application, use it, try using it, and then give us your feedback. You can come back and call our support team for this period as well. And then we hope to have your final decision to leave it on, leave it activated as one of the models that you subscribed to as the new year starts. We believe that it will be so useful, that useful to you, that you want to keep the model as the new year starts. And we'll be looking forward to having feedback. But there's one more thing as we round up that I want Aki to tell us. In the course of the year, I remember earlier in the year, our managing director at our launch in April mentioned that we're going to be having some expansion into the financial services space. We're beginning to offer some new things in the financial services space. And I know we've started. Aki, you want to tell us about that? What have we done? What have we gone live with? And as part of the roadmap as well, what should we expect in the financial services space in the new year?
All right, thank you, Uju, once again. This year, we've done a few things to improve your experience as our customers. Number one, much earlier in the year, we started out with our mobile app, and we have our mobile app on the Android Play Store, App Store, and the iOS App Store. We encourage you to try and test it out, use it. It makes it easier. You don't need to have a PC to be able to access your HumanManager profile, to be able to pass transactions, to be able to approve some transactions. It makes just HumanManager something you can carry around in your pocket. You can approve on your weekends. You can pass transactions on your way home while you are in the car. You can do so many things at different places. You don't have to have a computer set up to be able to achieve your basic requests. But something else bigger came also later in the year, and that is in the third quarter, we launched with Migo to provide lending services to our customers. Why are we doing this? We are doing this to improve your value proposition as employers to your employees. We are trying to make sure that we are also, not only are we making work easier to do, not only are we making employees better at doing their job, not only are we assisting HR in pursuing strategic objectives, but that we're also impacting direct lifestyle of our of your employees, who are the reason why you're using HumanManager in the first place. We know that for many of you, you would like to have more positive impacts on your employees' bottom lines also. And we know that many organizations don't want to, don't have any budget in particular for welfare loans. We all know where the Nigerian economy is at the moment. So, and we know that people generally have emergencies from time to time. And so it was, we thought that we should also project access to credit for employees who may not have access to additional sources of credit in case of emergencies, and for employers who may not have a pool of funds to risk to give to loans for employees, cash flow issues and all that. So this, I will just take us very briefly through what it typically would look like to do that. Once you enable that service, you will see also financial service as a module on HumanManager. And once you go there as an employee, you can make requests for credit. And it's as simple as that. You click on financial services, and then the system loads the interface. You go to, obviously, you see some infographic at the top. Then you can go to take a loan. Once you click on the take a loan button, the system opens up a page to you that sort of shows you your lend, how much money you can take. The maximum loan limit is this amount, salary advance or multi-period loans. And you click on the salary advance, which is what we are starting out with. And then you can literally make loan requests. Obviously, it goes to whoever has been set up in your company. That means HR needs to set up an approval workflow for this. And at the point of salary payments, the loan value will be deducted from you and from your salary and automatically paid to the creditor. We have started out with one lender. We're bringing more lenders on the platform. We're also planning in the new year to bring more lifestyle services on the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Akin, for that. I believe that we reached out to our customers. By the time this was done, we had a little event to launch it as well. And then we communicated to you all that we were live with this service. And therefore, we also mentioned that would be available to support your use of the application. We're also going to look at a new approach to put it in your hands to activate that service. So very soon, you're going to be seeing it displayed on your administrator's page. I mean, the administrator of the organization on HumanManager, to be able to activate it for you. So if you're interested in using it, you know, we believe that it's going to help. These days, organizations want to save as much of their funds for business purposes, but we also know that you want to meet the needs of your staff, especially when there are emergencies that require some funds. So rather than you setting up some funds or setting aside some funds to meet those requests of your staff for emergencies, for quick salary advance or some loans ahead of their salaries, or that will be struck out of their salaries, you can leave that to us. We would ensure that the request is handled, your staff get the money, and we'll also ensure that you have visibility of what is happening on your payroll when such deductions are made from your staff's salaries who have taken it. That is also at no cost to you as an organization. So you don't, I mean, if as a staff, I take a loan, I'm responsible fully, but nothing is hidden. Everything is visible to the staff and to the administrators, the payroll administrators, to see what they are going to pay and what the interest will be and all of that when they take loans. But that is at no cost to the organization. So we're not charging you for activating our financial services model. No, the cost will be borne just by the staff taking loans. So that's another way the company can do. So we believe for you as our customers is a good way to meet, to balance things out, meet the requirements or the needs of your staff, satisfy your staff, make them happy, making those funds, quick funds, emergency funds available to them. At the same time, not at the cost of the company. You're not paying for making the module available. At the same time, you're not paying for the staff taking loans. So it's actually at no cost. All that you need is activated. And the payroll manager is just going to maybe need to approve and all of that. And then your staff pay the money we ensure that there are certain things, rules on this payroll thing for about 30 years now. So we also have that experience to be able to know what rules should not be flaunted and all of that. And we've ensured that the process goes seamlessly while no rule is broken. At the same time, your staff are happy and you as an organization are not incurring unnecessary costs. So thank you very much. We've brought to you what we have to offer this year, what we've offered, what is coming in, what we're launching very soon, and then at the same time, what you can look forward to in the new year. We believe it's a good time to wrap up. We want to say big thank you to Tayo and Osaya. You've taken out 1.5 hours of your time to tell us and our customers, esteemed customers, they keep us in business, what we're going to be offering them next in the learning management system of HumanManager. Thank you so much for the partnership. Thank you for the dedication to getting this done. Aki, that's another thing I have to say. Thank you so much for always thinking ahead to make sure that we have very good products for our customers, and then we can make them happy by the things we're offering. Thank you so much also, our customers. 1.5 hours of your time, we really appreciate. We believe is worth it. Going into the new year, we've told you what you can explore. And finally, please go use the learning management system module of HumanManager. We've said it is at no cost to you till the end of this year. That's the beginning of our bonanza to our customers. Thank you all. It's great talking to you all. It's great having you all on this event. It's been amazing. And we thank you for those questions. If you have some other questions, please send to us. Support@humanmanager.net is there. We can still answer your questions around LMS, around any of our models, and around the financial service module as well. Have a beautiful time after now. Thank you and God bless.
An employee's database manually could be tasking and time consuming. And like all businesses, you would like to access employees' data and payroll with a few clicks and put an end to all your worries. You can achieve this and much more with our web-based HumanManager, which delivers impressive ease, eagle-eye access, and security to users like you. First developed over 25 years ago, HumanManager is one of the best web payroll and HR management software solution available today and is preferred by thousands of businesses across multiple industries globally. HumanManager makes it exceptionally easy for businesses of all sizes to manage their HR and payroll needs conveniently at any time and from anywhere in the world. With our integrated system, you can enjoy round-the-clock access, end-to-end multiple payroll processing at its best, appraisal management, configurable workflows, interactive dashboards, leave processing, claims and reimbursement management, and so much more. Our employee self-service